There is no possible way, there is no possible scenario by which the Ukrainians didn't either inform the Americans and other Western allies that this operation was in play, or didn't have the Americans and possibly the Brits helping them to do this operation. Not only did they have to smuggle these drones across the border into Russia, they had to cross all 11 time zones and get them pre-positioned. You have to do that with human beings. So this is a clandestine activity, what we at the CIA used to call an operational act, but it's multiple operational acts to get these things in place and ready to launch, and then have the whole thing commanded from Kyiv. Very, very impressive operation. Now, I'm going to disagree with President Zelensky in that the only people who do these kinds of large-scale operations and then don't tell anybody about it are the Israelis. And most of the time, the Israelis do inform us either minutes before the operations are launched or as the operations are being launched. There is no possible way, there is no possible scenario by which the Ukrainians didn't either inform the Americans and other Western allies that this operation was in play, or didn't have the Americans and possibly the Brits helping them to do this operation. There are too many moving parts. It's just too complicated. They couldn't do it on their own.
So what do you say to those that say, no, this is just how good the SBU is. They can get that done. What does it lead you to believe it had to be either the help with somebody else or that they would have said something?
Well, you're going to need things like imagery, for example. You're going to need things like logistical assistance. You can't do everything yourself. Not when you're a small country at war against a giant nuclear power. You have to have some kind of help. And if you're the United States providing billions and billions of dollars in aid, then by God, you want to be consulted about these things. You don't want to read about these operations on the front page of the Post or the Times. That's just not the way it's done in that world.
In fact, on that point, yeah. What does it tell you that, at least as of the last time I checked earlier this afternoon, Trump had not made any comments about this, which I found a little unusual because he loves to comment on everything here. And when specifically asked, Caroline Leavitt yesterday afternoon was specifically asked about the United States and what we thought of it and what the president thought about it. And she said, I'll let the president ask for and to make of his silence on this.
His silence tells me that we were in on it. If we had been cut out, he would be furious and maybe even a little bit embarrassed. And he would have been just beating Volodymyr Zelensky about the face and head in the media. And he hasn't been. He's been silent. And to me, that says that that we were at least consulted and that this was possibly a joint operation, because his silence just, protects the operation. It protects the relationship, sources and methods, as we used to say at the agency. So I would think that if we had been cut out, if the president had been embarrassed by not being consulted, he would be jumping up and down in front of TV cameras today and yesterday, and that hasn't been the case.